and gentlemen, welcome to RENEBOXYOUNG, a platform where we simply discuss, critique, analyze, talk about sport of boxing in level-headed, mature, coherent fashion. Subscribers since day one, recent subscribers, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks so much for tuning into Flash Lives, premieres of my videos such as this, man. Chatting away, you know what I'm saying, in the comment section. Playback family, salute. And those who, you know, tune in real time in the Flash Lives premieres, you know, chatting away in real time also. Thank you guys so much, man, for the support, subscribing it up, liking it up, sharing it up. You know, we're a community and we just chop up the sport of boxing. It's as simple as that. That's why if you're new here, if you love the sport, this is a place for you. We don't war with other platforms. We don't do all that nonsense, man. No time for that, you know what I'm saying? But we do have time to chop up the sport, man. And I want to talk about something that seems like people aren't really talking about. And like I said, man, there are so many platforms out there. I really don't know what everyone's talking about. So, I mean, there's no really time. I don't have time, you know, to check everyone out, you know what I'm saying? But it's nice. I like to grow off of everybody, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody has different perspectives and stuff like that. But I definitely want to talk about this. Several things to break down. You got to tune in this one, man. You know what I'm saying? Very insightful things that I was, you know, I've been researching. And, you know, things connect. Things connect. And we're going to see with Pacquiao, man. Pacquiao, let's check a couple of his quotes. And I want to break this down and connect it with Cecilia Brækhus. Cecilia Brækhus, man, legendary female pro fighter, you know what I'm saying, boxer, wants to come back in the mix in the sport also. With Kell Brook also, it all connects with what we're going to see in a moment. So you got to check this out, man. Definitely got to check this out. This is nonboxingsceneman.com. Link in the description, you already know. We're going to see 2 articles, but just a couple things, quick peeks, you know what I'm saying? Quick peeks into this, and let's get right to it, man. So Pacquiao says this about his return, okay? I'm eager to fight with them. Talking about Spence and Bud, okay? Because to test them to see if they're really a champion. Okay, you hear the dogs out there, okay? You know, the dog life, you already know. Pacquiao continued, I've been fighting a lot of boxers at 147, 140, 135. I've been fighting with one of the greatest boxers in the world, so I want to test them in a fight. Man, okay. So, my first thing is this, man. When I heard that Pacquiao, and I think he's saying all this, I think he was saying all this in this whole exhibition, you know, the interviews he's had in the exhibition that he had somewhere, wherever the heck he had it, whatever, I really don't care, okay, about the exhibition gig. But generally speaking, man, when we talk about Manny Pacquiao, you already know, I don't need to give an introduction. I don't have to go back to his legendary fights. I don't have to do that because his name speaks for itself, man. I mean, he's gained that legendary status in the sport of boxing. He definitely has. But when I first heard of him wanting to come back, man, when I read the headlines out there, you know what I'm saying, on social media, what have you, I was like, geez, stay out the sport, man. Go sit down somewhere. You know what I'm saying? That was my first reaction. I still am not interested in him coming back. Why? Because, you know, there are some things I see in these fighters, man. Like, you can tell when Father Time's coming, you know what I'm saying? Back in 2020, if I'm not mistaken, I pushed a video. Y'all check it out, man. The quarantine stuff, man, the whole COVID crisis or what have you. I pushed a video around that time talking about, man, Manny Pacquiao retiring, something like that. Said the same about Triple G, man. You know, I talked about it time and time again with Mosley. You know, Roy Jones Jr. coming back when he fought Mike Tyson and all that, man. I've expressed my 2 cents. I don't really care who the fighter is because that's just what I think. And this is exactly why this platform is called RENEBOXYOUNG. Rene being my second name, it's my middle name. Box Young. That's my, you know, what I see. I think these fighters, man, they should fight young while they can, while they're in their prime. Because when they start growing out of their prime, when Father Time starts knocking on their door, they're not performing the same anymore. You see what I'm saying? And then it comes to debatable things. Then it comes to like a young prime champ coming up and beats older prime champ, you know, who's out of his prime, and then there's just a lot of conflict in that stuff. You already know the name. There are so many examples in this. There are so many examples. For example, when Kell Brook fought Bud. I mean, there are so many examples. Canelo fought Mosley. I mean, the list goes on and freaking on, okay? So, I mean, there's just a lot of examples, and that's why that's my perspective on it when it comes to these older guys. And they're not really old, specifically. You know, I've said this before in live sessions when it comes to this topic. Like, doesn't mean Manny Pacquiao's an old guy. No, I mean, he's 43, something like that. I mean, but for boxing, that's not the age you should be boxing, man. And especially all the wars he's been through. That's exactly why, man. When this whole thing came out of Manny Pacquiao coming back, it's like, what the freak you want to come back for? What the freak you want to come back for? You want to fight Bud and Spence? After what Ugas did, I already saw it, okay? That's what I'm saying. Going back to that video I pushed a couple years ago, I think it was a couple years ago, about him retiring or what have you. And his coach, Freddie Roach, was speculating him retiring, and I pushed a video talking about that, you know what I'm saying? And Just for the fact of what we saw against Pacquiao. And at that time, I thought Pacquiao was out of his prime. I was like, you know what, Pacquiao don't have it anymore. He's not the same, you know? I mean, yeah, of course he can box, he can fight. Of course, man, he got the skills. They're going to stay there. But when it comes to fighting the top comp, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get smashed, Pac. You're going to get freaking hurt. Yeah, and lo and behold, this whole thing that happened with, you know, Spence, the eye thing, he had to pull out, and Ugas replaced him. Look what Ugas did to Pac, man. And he was beat so bad, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now, let's not forget this. He was beat so bad, he was eating, you know, in the post-fight, his wife was feeding him. Spoon feeding him. His eyes were freaking closed. I mean, it was bad. Now he wants to come back, and now he wants to fight Spence. Now, I understand, though, his perspective. This is the thing. Now let's get to the meat of this stuff right here. Listen to this. I mean, his perspective is this. He wants to come back and test the champs. He wants to come back and give these guys a test. It's not going to be much of a test, though. That's just my humble opinion. He's not going to give them much of a test because Pac-Man, it seems like he just can't, like, you know, you got to freaking don't be stubborn here. You know, but it goes deeper. It goes deeper. It's not just that Pac wants to test Spence and Bud. And I don't doubt, okay? Y'all know, man, this whole freaking drama. Now Bud is a free agent. This whole drama between Spence and Bud. Now Bud is a free agent. I wouldn't doubt he would take that Pac fight quick because remember, when he was on Top Rank, apparently he wanted to fight Pac 7 years. Bob didn't let him, but whatever. You know, because Bob was his boss. Okay, so, you know, 7 years. He had a long time he wanted to fight Pac-Man. Now it's Bud's opportunity to get that. Now it's Bud. Why? Because Pacquiao's saying that out of his mouth. Imagine how much money Bud would make. He would make the career high payday, man. You know what I'm saying? Spence also would make a really big bag on that one. Even though Pac right now, he's out of his prime. I mean, Pac carries a name. It's kind of like, for example, saying that Floyd Mayweather comes back and going for Spence. That would be huge. It would be huge. I wouldn't, you know, necessarily be so interested in because May's not the same anymore. I know a lot of people may want to debate that, but May's not the same anymore, man. You know what I'm saying? Pac's not the same anymore. No way. No way, man. We're not talking about the same Mayweather that came back. He had a year, you know, whatever, 2-year retirement, something like that. Coming back and, you know, I think he fought what? Juan Manuel Marquez and looked freaking sharp. A-game stuff. No, that's not the same Floyd anymore, man. This is not the same Floyd anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's not, you know? So I wouldn't doubt, man, Spence or Bud, they would grab that opportunity quick. I wouldn't doubt it, and it would prolong even more the Bud and Spence possible fight, whatever. You know, I know some people think that's not going to happen, whatever. You know, but you know what I'm trying to say. But it goes deeper, man. It goes deeper. Check this out. I definitely want you to check this out because it's not just that Pacquiao wants to test these guys. It's not just that. This is the reason why, man. And watch this. Watch this. Man, we got to check this out. Interesting stuff, man. So, this is another article, and the link's in the description of these articles. There's 2 articles from Boxing Scene. Shouts out to Boxing Scene for this content, man, definitely. And then we got here, okay, he's interviewed, whatever, okay. The exhibition was a very good stepping stone to come back. Okay, Pacquiao said, this is a great opportunity to come back in the ring. I thought it was easy to retire. Here we go. I really missed boxing. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. I felt lonely when I retired from boxing. Wow. So it goes deeper. You see what I'm saying? It goes deeper than just Pacquiao wants to come back and test these guys. It goes deeper. Now, watch this. What I mentioned a moment ago. Cecilia Brækhus wants to come back also to the sport of boxing. She is going to very soon. According to what we're hearing, what we're seeing, what with Cecilia Brækhus, with information that's coming out from her, you know what I'm saying, coming out of her own mouth. And Kell Brook. Watch this, man. Kell Brook, man, he was interviewed recently. I just don't remember. There's an interview floating out there of him, and he's in the gym. I remember specifically, I recently saw it a few days ago, several days ago. And he was like rapping his you know, doing some glove rap stuff. I don't know, right? Hand rap stuff. He was gonna do something in the gym. I don't know what it was, but like, you know, it was in his retirement stage. You know, he was recently interviewed, and he was talking about how sad it was to retire for him. Like, he couldn't find what to do in life. Like, his whole purpose, man, was fighting and boxing and the sport of boxing. This is crazy. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. And he was sad, man. That interview was kind of sad, man. He looked kind of sad in that interview. He was just like, yeah, you know, I got no purpose in without boxing. You know, I don't know, whatever he was saying. But, man, the heart of that interview was that he has no life without boxing. Pacquiao, it seems like he's in the same situation. He left the sport, even though he has all this politics stuff going on. I don't even know if he's still doing that, prime minister, whatever he wants to do in Philippines. I don't know. But you already know that, ladies and gentlemen. He's been in politics for years in the Philippines. It looks like that doesn't fulfill him. He has a wonderful family, beautiful wife. It looks like that, I guess, doesn't fulfill him too much, right? Of course, I'm sure it fulfills him some way. But the sport of boxing, he just said out his own mouth that he felt lonely. Like, he felt like, you know, what do I do? So it looks like it goes deeper, man, for Pacquiao. It's not just like he wants to test these guys, but it looks like he has no purpose without the sport, man. And I think that's dangerous, man. For any fighter. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this, man. Cecilia Brækhus saying the same thing. She came out recently, you know, whatever interview it was, but it's out there, you know what I'm saying? She talked about the same thing. She tried to live a normal life. After retiring, I think her last fight was against McCaskill in the rematch. You know, she lost too. Challenging fights, man. Brækhus, a legend in the sport when it comes to pro women's boxing, in my humble opinion, right? But so she came out and saying that, you know, after retiring, she tried to live that normal life. She tried to go to parties and gatherings and meetings or whatever. You know, go out for dinner and just enjoy life. And she said she always felt out of place. You know, she felt like without boxing, she just don't have purpose. Man, that's a trip. That's a trip. Now watch this. It's a trip because Regis Prograis recently came out talking about this too, okay? But Regis Prograis has a different perspective on this. And I think that this is where a lot of fighters should fall into that perspective. When they're in their careers, they got to build other things outside of the sport of boxing, man. They got to build other things that add into their life foundation. Because if it's just boxing, man, they leave the sport and bad things can happen. Some people can go into drug addiction. Some people can, you know, just, I don't know, fall into depression. It's a dangerous thing, man. It's a dangerous thing. Regis Prograis, getting back to that, he was just interviewed recently. I think it was on, you know, whatever platform it was. He was talking about, you know, about Teofimo's mental health or what have you, right? Something along those lines. And around that, you know, interview, he was talking about how that Regis Prograis, he has a solid foundation in his family. He has business. He has other things outside of boxing that, you know, maintains him. His emotional health and well-being, man. That's awesome. Because he said, I love boxing. You know, along these lines, I'm paraphrasing, but Regis Prograis talking about he loves the sport of boxing. He loves it. And of course, we can see it. You know, he does amazing in the sport. He's freaking elite status at 140. Two-time champ. That's what I'm talking about. But he was talking about, man, I'm Rougarou. I think that's his nickname. I suck at nicknames, whatever. I suck at names in general. But he says, in the ring, I'm Rougarou. But outside the ring, I'm Regis Prograis. I'm a family man. You know, I'm a husband. I got a wife. I got kids. You know, I'm gonna, you know, so he has a business, you know, whatever he does, and outside of it, real estate, something like that. But, you know, he said that he if he leaves boxing, he was kind of saying it like this. If he leaves boxing, he's good. He's good in life. You know what I'm saying? And he does it because he loves the sport, but that's not his whole identity. You got Canelo Alvarez, man, with that phrase, no boxing, no life. I think that's an awesome phrase, man. You know, for what he represents, no boxing, he loves the sport. I mean, Canelo said it time and time again in interviews too, man, that he just loves the sport. You know? And these fighters, man, when it comes to Pacquiao, you know, it can be dangerous. Because look at the wars he's been through. He can get hurt. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say here, ladies and gentlemen. He can get really hurt fighting against Bud and Pac. I'm sorry, fighting against Bud or Spence. Now, Bud Crawford, man, I mean, I haven't given a post-fight reaction on the whole Bud Avanesian thing. I went back, actually, because I had a little free time, and I actually thought about it. I went back, actually. I actually did it. What a miracle. I actually went back and saw Bud and Avanesian fight. I didn't see the whole fight, man, but I saw several rounds. Bud's not the same, man. Oh, and that's another video, because I've been pushing that for a minute. I've talked about it. I've chimed in on it from time to time, talking about Bud, man. I don't think it's not gonna be. Father Time is gonna be ticking on his door. I think Father Time is ticking on Bud Crawford's door. Call me crazy, I don't care. He didn't look the same, man, against David Avanesian. Looks slower. Yes, the skills are there. The defensive skills are not the best on the inside. Imagine what would happen if you were to fight Spence. Okay, that's another video, okay? But what I'm trying to say is this, man. You know, Bud fighting Pac-Man. Bud can possibly hurt Pac. Even though Bud, I don't think he's the same. I don't think he's in his prime anymore, man. I don't think he is. But I think Pac would get even more hurt if he fought Spence. I don't think this is a good thing that Pac-Man wants to do. If he wants to come back and fight these, again, there's a high probability this can go down. Because who wouldn't jump to the Pacquiao offer? Who wouldn't jump to fighting Pac? I'm sure Spence would. He wanted that. He wanted that fight, man. You know, when the retina thing happened, I mean, he really wanted to fight Pac. That was huge for him, man. You know what I'm saying? And imagine the monetary gain too, and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now, if this were to come back to the table, you know, who's to say Spence won't take that fight? Now that Bud does this whole 180 thing, and I know that's a controversy, but I firmly believe it. But whatever, people can believe what they want. But I personally believe, man, Bud did 180 on Spence, and he just left and fought David. Okay, fine. If Pac were to come knocking on Spence's door or Al's door or whatever, call Al, whatever, right? Man, I think Spence would jump on that. You know, Bud Crawford more for what we explained earlier. You know what I'm saying? Especially Bud Crawford more, because I don't think he wants to fight Spence, man. Just the moves he's making, I don't know, man. But I know, like I said, it's controversial. But if Pac were to come to Bud, imagine, man, that would be Bud's dream. Oh, I don't have to fight Bud. I don't have to fight Spence now too. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Hey, respect to Bud, man. But you know, he would jump all over a Pac-Man fight. That's what I'm trying to. That's the point I'm trying to make here. He would jump all over that. He would jump all over that bag. That's what he went for David for, right? Supposedly 10 million or whatever. Hey, you guys mad at me because I'm going for a bag? Y'all think he want to fight Pac-Man? I think he would. And I think he would hurt Pac. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Bud's in his prime anymore, but I think he still would hurt Pac-Man. Pac-Man, man. I don't know. These fighters, man, got to get a life outside of boxing. And if it's not going back in the ring, look at what Timothy Bradley and, you know, Andre Ward, they're wonderful commentary. Lennox Lewis, Paulie Malignaggi. I know a lot of people don't like him, but whatever. It's just making my point that, you know, after the sport of boxing, these guys can come back and still be active. They can still be involved, but they don't have to take punishment anymore. They can be coaches. They can be, you know, mentors. They can do so many things outside of the sport, but they're in the sport still. They're just not in that ring fighting. And I firmly believe this, man. Pac-Man, for whatever reason, he wants to come back, which I think it goes deeper. We just explained it. I think he just go sit down somewhere, man. Go sit down somewhere. You man, what do you guys think? Should he come back to the sport to fight? He's gonna get hurt, man. So go ahead and comment in the comment section, share it up, man. Please, let's chop it up on this. Opinionate in the comment section. You already know. Share it up, man. All that good stuff. RENEBOXYOUNG, a platform where we discuss, critique, analyze, we talk about sport of boxing in level-headed, mature, coherent fashion. Let's keep pushing. Peace.